You're listening to the Moon Griffon Show podcast on KPEL965.com.
News Talk 96.5 KPEL, Breaux Bridge, Lafayette, broadcasting from the Matthew James Tax and Wealth Management Studios.
An unintended strike on innocent people. I'm Chris Foster, Fox News. Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu confirms a military airstrike in Gaza, killing 7 people working with the American food aid charity World Central Kitchen, one a dual American-Canadian citizen.
The charity says the movements of the convoy had been coordinated with the Israeli army. It's now suspended operations, and ships carrying around 240 tons of aid to Gaza are turning back to port in Cyprus.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. Hunter Biden's request to have tax charges dismissed is rejected by a federal judge in L.A.
Abby Lowell, the lawyer for President Biden's son, argued, among other things, prosecutors caved to pressure from Republicans. Hunter Biden has pleaded not guilty to charges that accuse him of failing to pay $1.4 million in taxes between 2016 and 2019. During that time, Biden is accused of spending millions on drugs, escorts, and fancy cars. The trial is scheduled to begin June 20th with jury selection. In Washington, Ryan Schmelz, Fox News.
Former President Trump posts a bond to prevent the seizure of assets to cover a $500 million business fraud judgment against him in New York.
Trump posted that bond and taking to Truth Social, saying this, quote, "I've just posted a $175 million bond with the sadly failing and very troubled state of New York. The case was a fabricated election interference con job so bad for New York, where businesses are fleeing and violent crime is flourishing. Now what comes next is Trump's appeal of the full judgment in this civil case. His attorney, Alina Habba, saying this, quote, he looks forward to vindicating his rights on appeal and overturning this unjust verdict."
Fox's Griff Jenkins. At least 25 people are killed in a fire during renovations on a nightclub in Istanbul, Turkey. America's listening to Fox News.
Hey guys, Donald Trump Jr. here. Let me ask you this. Does inflation feel worse than what we're being told in the news? That's because the official inflation rate doesn't tell the whole story. Since January 2021, the cost of living has increased by 17.9%. You can't get that money back. But what you can do is stop your losses today. How? By diversifying your savings into a gold IRA from my friends at Birch Gold Group. When you're done, your money will be parked in a tangible asset with a proven history. To see how it works, get your free info kit on gold IRAs by texting the word PROTECT to 989898. I trust Birch Gold. They provide an easy process to roll over your 401k or IRA into gold without losing your tax advantaged status. So text PROTECT to 989898. That's PROTECT to the number 989898 to get your free info kit on gold IRAs from Birch.
It's time to win cash. Get your KPEL News apps ready because here's your chance to win up to $30,000. Just enter the following code into your KPEL News app where it says win cash, and make sure you listen for more codes throughout the day because the more codes you enter, the better your chances. Here is your next code.
Got that app handy? It's time for your 9 a.m. code. It's 576. Your 9 a.m. code is 576.
Dear John, uncontrolled high blood pressure is serious, and I can quit whenever I want. But when I quit, you quit. Sincerely, your heart.
To get your high blood pressure to a healthy range, visit heart.org/blood pressure. A message from the American Heart Association and the Ad Council.
Bikers Against Child Abuse empowers children to not feel afraid of the world in which they live. For more information, visit BACAworld.org. Our helpline is 866-885-9474. BACA, breaking the chains of abuse.
This hour of the Moon Griffon Show is brought to you by 1% List Acadiana. Call Shannon LeBlanc today at 337-522-0682. Save on fees, not on service.
The views expressed in the following show are those of the hosts or hosts only. They do not represent News Talk 96.5 KPEL or Town Square Media.
all. Welcome, Moon Griffon Show. Great to have you with us. Terrific Tuesday is amongst. Anyway, great to have you with us. 844-766-6607. Another great day to be alive in Louisiana and beyond. Anyway, it is a Matthew James Tax Wealth Management Hotline if you'd like to be part of the program. Congratulations. You know, the LSU girls, they made a great run. Fell a little short yesterday. Give credit to Iowa. Caitlin Clark girls really good, but Angel Reese and the rest of them are really good too. It's just, it's just one of those things. Somebody, that's what makes the basketball tournament, boys, girls, so great. Somebody goes home, everything's do or die every time you play, and Clark was too much. Tell you what, as good of a shooter and scorer she is, Walker, she passed the basketball. God have mercy. She makes a lot of turnovers too, though, because she touches the ball all the time. But I got a chance to watch the game last night, and it was one of them things. It was back and forth, but they made a couple big runs on LSU. And boy, I tell you what, if you ever played sports, especially in basketball, you make a run, and you're down 12, 15, 20 points, and you make a run, and it's so hard to get over the top because you use so much energy to make a run to come back. And LSU had to do that 2 or 3 times. First time was in the first quarter. They came back and actually took the lead. 2 times in the second half, they got down as much as 13. They made a run. I think they cut it to 7 with a chance to cut it to 5 and never could. And then the last run they made, same thing. You got to get over the top. Now, but Kim Mulkey's squad, they'll be back. I'm not even concerned about that. She'll get good players. She's a great coach. They'll be back competing for it again next year. Just the way it is. They're going to be right there, and that Elite 8 and up, it just takes a little bit of luck to get to the next level. I say luck. I don't mean it like that. Things got to go well for you. And we'll see what happens next year for them. Now, the big controversy that the media is trying to make a big deal, some of you people may get mad at me. Watch LSU walk off the floor before national anthem, Iowa stands and wins. That was what Breitbart. I saw another article, and they beating on them. And when I heard that, because some people would tell, do you see what LSU did? I got to tell you guys, I'm just being blunt with you. I didn't see it. Number 2, you got to understand something from a basketball perspective. I played at high school, and it was Northeast at the time. And I don't know if the national anthem was ever played in either one of them. Because the way, you can throw that away, the way we did it was like Mulkey did it in high school and college. We'd come out and warm up. You'd have the warm-up stuff on, your pants, your shirt, and all that stuff. And you would play. You would come out there and warm up, and you had like 20 minutes to warm up, 18, 20 minutes, and you'd warm up then about half that time, and then you would go back in the locker room, did this in high school and college, and we would take our bottoms off and come back out of our tops when they had maybe, 3, 4, 5 minutes left. The coaches would always talk to you, and you'd come back out, and you'd warm back up, and you'd go and call a lineup and play them a game. And I heard Kim Mulkey there. I said, I didn't even know what was going on. She said, when the 12-minute mark comes, we go inside. We go in, we change our warm-ups, and we go back over our game plan. And that's how I remember basketball, and Kim Mulkey's my age, and that's how Kim Mulkey grew up playing, and that's how Kim Mulkey coached. They always went in. Now, when the national anthem was playing, and I had somebody tell me a while ago, the way you do it is when the horn goes off to start the game, everybody goes to the bench. If you want everybody to be there for the national anthem and you want to see if somebody really believes in standing up for the country, you play the national anthem, then you do the starting lineups, and then you play the game. Everybody's there. And you say, well, you take it up for Kim. I'm not taking up for anybody. I'm just telling you from the perspective of a basketball place and a basketball coach and a basketball player at one time. That's how we did it. I couldn't tell you if they ever played the national anthem for one of my games I ever been to because that's how they did it. And I tell you what, that reporter that wrote all that nasty stuff about Mulkey has come back and now apologizing for something they wrote about Mulkey and the players and proving what Mulkey said at the beginning. Why did the person even write it? And why did they write it now? All that stuff's going on. I'm just telling you, that I am not jumping up and down on the national anthem. Yeah, Iowa was there. Maybe Iowa didn't do that. Maybe Iowa knew something. I don't know. But I'm going to take Mulkey's word on this one. That, okay, then somebody said, well, Moon, did they walk out while the national anthem was going on? I don't know. I didn't see it. I don't even care to see it. You know, if it had been me and I'm walking out in the national anthem, I'd say, hey, ladies, stop. Let the national anthem go. And I walked out. But let me tell you something else about a coach and a team. They like to get in a routine, and they like to stick to that routine. First game to the last game. Whether it's the last game of the season or it's a playoff game or it's the Sweet 16, Elite 8, or Final Four, they like routines. They want everybody in the same routine. So if you're used to going in and having a meeting and getting ready to go outside, that's what you do. Now, the media's made a big deal. Some of you folks have. Can you believe LSU? And I'm going, hold up just a second. Because right when I heard about it, me and my bride was sitting there talking, and I just said, you know, Tanya, I don't know about this. I said, because the way we used to do it, and I told her. And to me, so I said, let me just wait and see. So when they asked Mulkey the question, she said, I don't really know what you're talking about. She said, at 12 minutes, I think she said 12 minutes, we go in. I know coaches that the head coaches don't come out till they come back out the second time. In other words, they stay in the locker room. They're going over everything, make sure they got everything covered. The kids go warm up. The assistant coaches go out there. They come back in. And then when that team runs out with 3 or 4 minutes left to finish warming up, the head coach walks out. I know people that do it that way. And everybody, you got to understand, coaches are different people too. They got these little things that matter to them. Little things like that matter to them. I'm sure Nick Saban wasn't no different. I bet Brian Kelly's not either. They got certain things they do. I just didn't jump up and down. And when I heard Mulkey say, I didn't know what you talking about, we were doing this. But some of the national media made a big deal. Mulkey said after that, the decision to leave the floor was intentional, just part of the team's routine. She added that she is unaware of when the national anthem is played. And I'm just telling y'all, I'm not trying to take up for Kim Mulkey because it's LSU. I'm not. I'm being blunt with you. When I played in high school and college, I'm just telling you the routine for a coach and the players, they try to keep it the same way every time. No matter what else is going on, her main goal right there is that team trying to win a game. Once again, I know I'm going to get some emails, moon at moongrafon.com. Moon at moongrafon.com. You can email me. You can get mad at me. And that's fine if you want to get mad at me. I just don't think they walked out on the national anthem. I'm sorry. I think they what they did was they walked into the dressing room. Okay? They walked in the dressing room to go get ready to play a ball game. That's what I think. And look, I know somebody said, well, Moon, you think coaches don't lie? No, I think coaches lie. I do think coaches lie about stuff. There was nothing to lie about this. Why would she lie about this? I don't know Kim Mulkey. I watched her play a lot in college because she was at Tech and I was at ULM. I thought, wow, look at this little girl. What a competitor. And she became into the player and the coach that she is today. And she worked her butt off. I just don't see her she's not unpatriotic. I don't care what you think about any of the players either. I just think this is a big deal about zero, nothing, nada. I mean, this is almost not worth talking about. The only reason it's worth talking about is because when I see headlines, LSU walks off the floor before national anthem. Remember that. Before the national anthem came on. It didn't say during the national anthem, so I got that straight now. It wasn't during the national anthem. And people would have been right to question, hey, national anthem, they enter the national anthem, these people just walk off the floor. I get that, but that's not what happened. It was before. And they were doing a routine that coaches like to get in routines. I'm just telling y'all, I've been around coaches. There's a coach listening. They know exactly what I mean by the routines that they have. And they like to keep it just like it is from game 1 to game 35. They don't want to change anything, especially if you win it. You know, there's a lot of people believe, what do you call it? They kind of believe superstitious. They say baseball, walk you play, that's worse than all of them. Don't step on the line, step on the line. Don't run to the mound, walk from the mound. I mean, just crazy stuff. But that's how people do in sports. Coaches do the same thing. So anyway, I'll take your calls, 844-766-6607, Matthew James Tax and Wealth Management Hotline. We'll take a break first. We'll take a break. We'll come back. You're listening to the Moon Griffon Show. That's my cut on it, my take. The difference between me and the writer that wrote the story about Kim Mulkey, I'm going to stand by mine. He didn't stand by his story. Take a break. Be right back.
It's springtime, and that means garden time here in Louisiana. And Louisiana-owned and operated Stein is where you need to go to get all the great deals on plants and everything else you need for that brand new flower bed you've been wanting to make. Stein has great deals on garden soil, mulch, weed and ant killer, everything you need to lay the groundwork for that brand new flower bed, plus assorted flowers and vegetables in jumbo 6-pack starting at just $2.79. The weather is perfect, and that means you have the opportunity to start bringing those great blossoms into your yard today. Plus, springtime means outdoor cooking, grills, charcoal and propane burners, all of that you need you can find online at steinhome.com. Louisiana-owned and operated, Stein is your place for the gardening and outdoor grilling you need to take advantage of this spring. Check out everything they have to offer online at steinhome.com. That's steinhome.com. Check them out today.
When you think about how you'll spend your money in retirement, what comes to mind? Probably travel, sunny beaches, and spoiling your grandchildren. But a recent survey found that over 30% of every dollar a retiree spends goes to taxes. Baby boomers were told for years to save money in their IRAs and 401ks and pay taxes later. Well, now that day has arrived, and boomers are shocked to see a third of their money going back to Uncle Sam. John Blanchard and the Matthew James Financial Group can help. What if you could protect all or most of your retirement wealth from future tax rate increases? Achieve a zero or near zero effective tax rate for most of your retirement years. Find out more. 337-366-8366. Isn't it time you got a second opinion on your wealth and retirement outlook? Learn how you could potentially kick the IRS out of your IRA. 337-366-8366 and online at MatthewJames.com. Hi, y'all. Welcome back. Moon Griffon Show. Great to have you with us. 844-766-6607. Matthew James Tax Wealth Management Hotline. A non-story became a story on the Moon Griffon Show. It's a non-story. Walk off the court before the national anthem even played. It's just silly that we would sit here. But I'm gonna defend them because there's no story here, folks. Somebody's going to curse me on the email, I know, but it's just no story here. All right, oh, Jesus. Let's help us. Miss Kathy from New Iberia. I'm praying already because I know this lady loves us some LSU Tigers now right here. This is the biggest LSU fan ever. Kathy, what's going on? Hey, look, Kathy, you cannot use dirty words on the air. I'm just telling you, walk ass to the delay button, ready to go.
Okay, I'm going to breathe deeply. Please. Okay, I'm good. Go Tigers, you are correct. I'm one of the biggest LSU fans. I've now become a season ticket holder for basketball, had an awesome year. I thought on this morning because I woke up to my Newsmax with the big headline, and boy, they did not make it sound good. As a mom and a grandmother, routines.
Do we want to tell people? Do we want to tell people your age too? Never mind. Go ahead.
Stop. I'm a very young grandmother. Routines, when it comes to routines. And I thought about, raising my boys, and they played sports. If they would not have gone out there, I'd have had a problem. Routines, routine, going to church once a week. We don't always like our routines, but sometimes you need to do it. And I've thought on this, and how much a diehard I am. And I love Mulkey, but I think this is wrong. Because what other country could these girls and that woman go to and do what they're doing now?
So you think Mulkey and them were wrong?
Yes, I do, Boo. They owe that much to the country, Boo.
I don't understand something. Let me follow you on this. So you don't know about the national anthem. You take your kids in the same time every time. You go into a room, and a lot of times in those dressing rooms, you can't hear nothing outside. That's what makes them unique. And you come back out, and the national anthem's already played, and you hear about it after the game. I don't understand that.
You can find out if you want to do it, okay? Because that's the route. They do that every week. It might be a little bit different, and it might be a little inconvenient. But, Moon, you owe that to this country to go out there for 5 minutes. I really think so. Now, let me tell you, this is not the first time. This is the way she does every game. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong.
That's the point I'm making, Kathy. She goes out at 12 minutes of every game. She goes back in every game. They like to keep – coaches are different people. They like to keep the routine for their kids. I don't think they – I'll be honest with you. I don't think they're sitting around worried about the national anthem. They're worried about winning a ball game.
No, I understand that.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
I really think you owe it to your country to go out there at the beginning of every game. I really do. I really do.
All right, I'm shocked. I'm really shocked you saying it.
Move.
No, I am. I really am.
Why is it that every other team can handle it? Okay? Now, Mulkey, that's her choice. I will tell you that. I think that's her choice. But you need to encourage those kids to go out there. You really do, Moon.
I don't have a problem with anything you're saying. I'm just telling you, they didn't walk out. Now, if me and you were talking like the national anthem, they sitting out there, the national anthem starting, and you probably don't want me to sing it. But anyway, if the national anthem starting, they ran out, I'd be right there with you. I'd be 100% with you. But I don't think that's this case. I don't. I just don't think this is the case.
No, I agree with you. No, I don't think.
You think they deserve to get?
I totally agree.
They get burned. You think they deserve to get burned and they were inside quietly? I don't.
Well, okay. Let's just say this, Moon. Right now, for whatever reason, we've got a target on our back. LSU does. And this just feeds it and gives them one more reason to do it. Because the way Newsmax did it, and I was really kind of disappointed in them, but they said, well, they didn't take the time to come out for the anthem, but, they lost the game too, so.
Yeah, well, that's Breitbart said LSU walks off the floor before the national anthem even started. Iowa stands and wins. The before it started is the part I'm telling you that I get it. But if you were out there and it had already started, Kathy, and they walked off, I'd say LSU's in the wrong 100%.
I don't think so. I think they stay back. Okay, I'm willing to bet on that one because at the PMAC, they don't come out at that particular time.
Well, they're doing the same thing. The same thing they did at PMAC, they're doing here. They're not doing anything any different, Kathy. Matter of fact, you can make the argument, why don't they do it at LSU and they come out?
That's correct. Because this came out. This was a little local, but it just, you're in the middle of diehard LSU country, so it didn't go far. Okay? It did not go far, but it came out earlier during this season.
And I knew when I brought this subject up, I got one lady ripping my head off, but that's part of what I do. Anyway, let me go, Kathy. I'll take care. We got to go. We'll be right back. Hey, folks, this is Moon Griffon. I built my dream home. Start imagining your dream home. And when you do, make sure you call my friends or get in touch with my friends at Schumacher Homes. SchumacherHomes.com, SchumacherHomes.com. When you tour Schumacher Model Home, you're in control. Stop by during operating hours and tour at your own pace. There's a reason my friends at Schumacher have been building homes for over 30 years. They're committed to making the home building process as enjoyable, simple, and hassle-free as possible. Call them or visit them, SchumacherHomes.com. SchumacherHomes.com to schedule your free, no-obligation design and pricing meeting. Hey, it's an hour or two of your time working on your dream home. And my friends over at Schumacher Homes just announced some exciting news. You can get a mortgage rate as low as 2.875% when you finance with Schumacher Homes. That is 2.875% when you finance with Schumacher Mortgage. Hey, the whole Schumacher team is dedicated to making sure your dream home becomes a reality. SchumacherHomes.com, SchumacherHomes.com. Folks, remember the name All Field Equipment, allfieldequipment.com. When I say All Field, that's ALL Field.com. All Field Equipment, founded in 2016 by my good friend, Mr. Bill Allen, with over 50 years' experience in the oil and gas industry. Hey, this is a great company to do business with. Whether it's production equipment, control valves, controller, glyco pumps, chemical pumps, chokes, Wilden pumps, Barton recorders, All Field has new rebuilt and parts. All Field handles some of the industry's top brands such as Norasil, Fisher, and Kimray. On the supply side, All Field has anything from Q-tips to appliances to general All Field supplies. All Field is one of the largest suppliers of bottled water in the Gulf. And remember, All Field never changes transportation. Like the name says, All Field has it all, covering the Architects area and the Gulf of Mexico. All Field Equipment, 337-837-1003, 337-837-1003.
Support local. Hi, I'm Marcel Spears. Keeping our global neighborhood safe is a tough job, made easier by America's brave military dogs. These dogs keep our troops safe by sniffing out bombs and IEDs and locating enemy positions. Yet when these canine heroes retire, they're too often left overseas. American Humane works to bring these valiant dogs home and reunites them with their handlers for happy, healthy retirements. To learn how you can help, visit AmericanHumane.org.
I love this song! I love nachos.
Loving everything? You might be buzzed.
You know what I'd love? A ride when it's time to head out.
If you see a buzz warning sign, call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
This hour of the Moon Griffon Show is brought to you by 1% List Acadiana. Call Shannon LeBlanc today at 337-522-0682. Save on fees, not on service.
Hi, y'all. Welcome back. Moon Griffon Show. Great to have you with us. 844-766-6607 is the number. It is a Matthew James Tax Wealth Management Hotline. I'll get back. I got a guest on for a few minutes, and I want to get him on because I told him I was representative out of Baton Rouge, and I wanted to visit with him a second. But I'll go back to the issue. I knew people were going to take me wrong, and I knew not to even say a word because it makes it look like that's just somebody looking for a bicker. But I'll read what one lady wrote. Woo, my rear's on fire. But anyway, we'll get to that in a minute. All right, let's go. Representative Roger Wilder joins me. Representative Wilder, how you doing, bud?
I'm good this morning, man. How you doing?
Man, despite myself, I'm hanging in there. What? Tell people what district you represent.
So I represent the 71st District. That is Denham Springs, Louisiana, Livingston Parish.
Very familiar with it. Very familiar with it. All right, you got a bill, House Bill 608. Tell us what this bill is and what it does.
Well, the bill is the Women's Safety and Protection Act, and the basis of the bill is to provide protections for women and girls against sexual assault, harassment, violence in correctional facilities, juvenile detention facilities, domestic violence shelters, dorms, restrooms, or essentially anywhere where women have been traditionally afforded safety and protection, in private use areas.
Yeah, does this have anything to do with what's going on in today's world of a man can be a woman can be a man type deal, or is this set up totally separate from something like that?
I mean, I think the two are interconnected. I mean, I think the bill comes from the basic belief that women and girls need to feel protected in vulnerable areas.
Absolutely.
And I don't think we need to be subjecting them to confusion, intimidation, and potential trauma.
No, I think you're 100% right, and it looks like to me, y'all, you in this bill you covered a lot of stuff in here. I mean, dormitories to changing rooms, restrooms, and I think the reason why I say that is I read the bill. It looked like it was something to just protect women in general, young girls and women.
That's it. I mean, we need to have a compassionate approach to protecting everyone's privacy, but no woman's right to privacy should be contingent upon, beliefs and opinions. It can't be arbitrary.
Yeah. Now, let me ask you a question, because a lot of bills, and I'm going to get to this later in the day, but a lot of bills that have been passed, Bell Edwards vetoed all type bills like this. They would make up stuff and veto it and trying to protect the woke society. But has this bill been brought up before? Is this a bill you bring it up, or is this a bill that somebody else brought up, or is this brand new?
I think it's a combination of a few things. I mean, the legislation was one of the reasons I wanted to run. We had an occurrence in my district where we had a situation that we needed to address. So, I saw other states that had legislation and used that. I used some of what the other members in the chamber were advising that they have thought of and tried before. So we tried to craft this as concise as possible to keep it and framed around the fact that, the right to bodily privacy means a right to not be seen undressed by the opposite sex. Mm-hmm. So we had to define some definitions and put some parameters in place, which I think most of us have agreed upon since time immemorial. But, we're trying to be as compassionate and empathetic as possible.
I noticed, too, I know it's your bill, but, man, you had a lot of co-signers, huh? I don't know if it's, what do you have, 50 co-signers, maybe 40, 50? I mean, it's a lot of names.
Well, we do. We have 54 co-authors in the House, and we have 10 co-authors in the Senate. Again, this was done in a cooperative effort by a number of people, a lot of opinions and a lot of input. I have the blessing to carry it, but there are a lot of people whose name is on this because we believe in what the bill is intended to do.
No, I'm noticing it's a lot of conservative. I don't know if you got a Democrat in here trying to help y'all with this, but it's a lot of Republicans. Do you have any Democrats to go along with the bill?
We have one right now, and we have a potential couple of other ones who are considering.
Okay, no, that's good though. Yeah, what about the bill? When is this bill going to be presented?
We have our committee hearing this upcoming Monday at 9:00.
What do you when you do a bill like this? And I'm talking to Representative Roger Wilder. He is a representative out of the Livingston Parish area. When you got a bill like this, what is going to be the argument against the bill? And, Roger, I know you probably know this, Representative Wilder, but every time somebody brings up a bill, they got to kind of know who the opposition is going to be. So have you figured out who's going to probably be against this bill, which looks like a really good, sensible bill?
I think we have. I think we're, discrimination or is this your business? I think some of those angles may come up with respect to, concerns about the intent of the legislation. But I go back. This bill simply seeks to provide safety and privacy for our women and little girls. It's not that complicated. It may be controversial, but unfortunately, it's really not that complicated.
I don't think it's controversial when you're trying to protect young girls or women in general. And this is what you're doing with the craziness that we have now in the woke society. I think it's a common sense bill for most people.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of what we've known since time immemorial, but I think it gives clarity to I think it gives a lot of clarity where there's a lot of confusion right now. So that was the goal. Let's offer some clarity and make it easier for people to understand what decisions need to be made, especially in these areas where we're going to have, young women and ladies.
But a bill like this doesn't really cost anything to do this. It's just a matter of doing stuff that's the right thing to do. Is that correct?
Yeah, it should cost nothing. I don't think it has a fiscal note of zero, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I didn't think it had any money. It's no money worries here. I would think you would get most of the if in a House and Senate that has 2/3 Republicans or better. I would think you'd get support. What committee are you bringing this committee through?
No, this is going to go through civil law, man.
Okay, who chairs the committee you have to go through?
That's Chairman Muscarello.
Okay. Well, you feel good about getting it through the committee. That's going to be my next big question, because that's the big question going through the House, especially through a Senate committee. Always concerns me if you got a good bill that wants to be stopped. The Senate committee has been unbelievable for stopping bills that were good.
Well, we look, I mean, there's been a number of people involved in crafting this legislation. The Freedom Caucus has helped. The ADF, the Alliance Defense Foundation's helped. The Family Forum has helped. We believe we have a very, very Christ-like bill. I mean, maybe that's a controversial statement, but this is being done in a manner where we can be as empathetic and compassionate as possible, but still address the privacy issue and make sure we can, codify some of that into law where there's no confusion or risk.
Okay, that's perfect. Well, wish you the good luck on the bill. Bill number again is 608, correct?
Yes, sir. House Bill 608.
Yeah, and just keep us up to date on what the bill's doing, and when is it up for? When is it up?
Well, it's the committee's Monday. I would imagine the floor hearing would be later that week or the following week, since it has to be read and lay over after committee.
Okay. All righty then, sir. We wish you the best of luck. Representative Roger Wilder, we thank you very much, brother.
Thanks for your time, sir. Have a good day.
All right, thank you. All right, let's take a quick break. I'll come back and read the letter from a lady that I've been knowing for a while. I can't believe you're taking up for them. This was too important of a game to miss the national anthem. I'm surprised that you're as patriotic as you claim to be. I never claimed to be anything. If this wasn't LSU, you would be hammering them. By the way, I have a son that's LSU alumni, so I am an LSU fan. Wow. All right. Be mad about it then, but don't be mad at me. We'll be right back. From the humbling beginning, Dino Hardwoods is striving to provide superior service and quality products for their customers. Hey, I know Charles Altman. He does a great job. If you're looking for lumber, Dino Hardwood stocks a large selection of domestic and import hardwood lumber and cypress. You ought to see that stuff. Exotic lumber, they got that as well. Trust in Dino Hardwoods when it comes to your exotic lumber needs right now. Molding, plywood, paint, and L products, they are ready for you. They got 3 great locations. The corporate office is right here in Broussard, Louisiana. There's an office in Shreveport on 2801 Valley View Drive and one in Tyler, Texas, 12492 Highway 155 North. Hey, if you're looking for something different and something new and somebody who will service you, it's Dino Hardwoods. I'm telling you, don't forget Dino Hardwoods. DinoHardwoods.com, DinoHardwoods.com. Great locations. They can service you. They can deliver. DinoHardwoods.com. Check out this great Louisiana company. Folks, you hear me brag about an advertisement. South Star Urgent Care is the name you need to know. Listen, you look up, you're in the middle of the night, you're looking, God, where do we go? South Star Urgent Care. They open on weekends. They open at night. They can get you taken care of. If you're sick, if you're feeling bad, maybe you coughing, dehydrated, fever, flu, fracture, South Star Urgent Care wants to service you, and they're going to treat you like you want to be treated. They're going to get you in, get you out. You're not going to sit in a dark waiting room for a bunch of times. South Star Urgent Care. Go to SouthStarMoon.com, SouthStarMoon.com. You know you can register before you go and set your appointment. Hey, it's really cool. These folks at South Star greet you with a genuine smile and make you feel very comfortable. Folks, you're looking for the perfect urgent care? It's South Star Urgent Care. Go to SouthStarMoon.com, SouthStarMoon.com. South Star Urgent Care. It's the urgent care you need. Go to SouthStarMoon.com, SouthStarMoon.com.
Your garage,
too. Hi, y'all. Welcome back. Moon Griffon Show. Great to have you with us. 844-766-6607. It is a Matthew James Tax Wealth Management hotline. I think there's a little miscommunication here. Okay. Do I think all of them ought to go out for the national anthem? Yep. I think they ought to do it every game? Yep. I'm just telling y'all, in college sports, they haven't been doing it forever. Nobody said a word till now. Walker, you go to Walker's my son. Walker goes to, you go to the UL game?
All the UL basketball
All the
games.
basketball games. I know because I seen you. I go to some. So you just talked to some players.
I talked to two players.
What's their routine?
They stay in the locker room before the national anthem.
Or they stand because of the national anthem?
No, it's a game thing. They never go out. I've never seen them go out for a UL basketball game.
It's all a game thing, but these people
They
get
go
mad
out
at
after the national anthem.
these people that are getting mad at me, you get mad at the wrong person. If you want to have the national anthem, I'm all for it, have it for the game. Now, you go to the Pelican games.
Yes.
Walker's a big sports fan. You go to Pelican games, what do?
They're out during the national anthem because they're warming up, buzzer sounds. They line up, do the national anthem, and then they get called out and the game starts.
And if they want to do that in college, then do it in college. I have no problem. But to sit here and act like LSU walked off, that's not right. See, we all get two different things with some of these people that are getting mad at me. Don't get mad at me. I'm all for the national anthem being played for every game right before and all that. I am. I was explaining the process of what Mulkey and basketball coaches do, and how you come out, you warm up, and you go back in and change, you talk, you come back out, and the concentration for the girls or the boys is playing the game. That's all I was trying to do, was telling you that that's just the way it's done. If you want them to stand up, somebody wrote down, I'm not a sports fan because of this. Sound like me, Kim Mulkey should constantly consider the fact that so many people have sacrificed $250. That's fine. I get it. By the way, one of your friends say you got a great voice on the air. You ever heard of Butch? Mr. Butch? Anyway, I'm just, okay, I can't believe Moon, you'd be I'm not blasting anybody. I understand what they're going through. I was just explaining the process. If you ask me to take a side, do the national anthem like the pros do, you do it. Go to the bench, get your name called out, and play ball. I'm all for it. I think you ought to have it that way. But I'm just telling you. To the coaches and them playing them games, that's their livelihood. That's what they're doing. Okay, don't get mad at me. I was just giving you the process of what's taking place. That's all. That's it. And by the way, you heard Walker say that, and I know this for a fact. They're not in the locker room not to be out there for the national anthem. They're in the locker room focusing on the game. You get mad at me, you call yourself patriot. Come on, Marie, give me a break. Nothing to do with what I was just explaining what's going on here. If you don't want me explaining what's going on here, blast them, blow them out the water. Fine with me. Just explaining what's going on. You know? And I said if they were there and the national anthem started and they went in and I was the coach, I'd say, oh, hold up. Everybody, turn around, put your hand on your heart. We're going to do the national anthem. We're going in real quick. And should they do it? Yeah, probably should do it. But I'm just telling you, I'm just giving you the process. You may not like the process. I don't have to like it. But I'm not going to throw Kim Mulkey and the LSU basketball team under the bus when I know good and well what the routine was, and it's always been like that. It was like that when I played. All right, let's take some phone. Let's go to Jace. Is it Jace? Jace or Chase? Chase, where you from?
Oil City.
Oil City. Yeah, I know where you're at. Go ahead.
What I'm calling about is I've talked to a lot of people, and they're all in favor of trying to do some kind of recall for our sheriff's election before Mr. Whitehorn opens up the jails. And I'm really disappointed a lot of pastors didn't even request their members to at least show I voted or whatever. You know, I heard Mr. Whitehorn thank all his pastors for helping him be elected. And a lot of pastors were afraid to have somebody come to the church because it might offend some of their other multi-church people. But, you know, you don't have to tell them to vote for whoever, but you can get them both to listen. I know down at the Louisiana campground, they invite everybody to come that's running for a major election.
Well, let me, and Chase, I'm going to stop you real quick because a recall would be absolutely 100% waste of time. The gentleman that you're talking about that won has done nothing wrong that we know of, and I don't think you can be able to recall him. A recall is almost impossible to do, so I don't think that will happen. As far as the churches getting involved, yeah, the churches that vote for Democrats get involved, and the churches that don't vote for Democrats, some of them don't get involved. Some of them want politics to stay out of it. I don't necessarily agree with that, but that's their choice.
Yes, sir.
So anyway.
I'm really disappointed. You know, his intention is to let a lot of people out of jail, take a lot of the monies, and give it to people buying food.
I know, but you can't. You got to recall somebody so hard. And number two is he's got to actually do something that you disagree and you get mad at him while he's in office. You can't recall it because the guy's not even in office yet, and I don't think you have any grounds to recall him right now.
He got pretty aggravated the other day whenever on Kill Radio when she asked him about him going to get the ex-mayor to run, and he said, well, I don't think they asked Mr. Prater who he was going to get, but, you know, Mr. Prater was going to get somebody that they at least he could have just said, well, I'm going to get this person or that person, but anyway.
All right, Chase, I got to run, God. Thank you for calling. Appreciate it. Yeah, that ain't happening. Anyway, so, I knew when I brought up the Mulkey, the deal with the national anthem, people would take that wrong. Oh, yes, not. Just explaining the process. Just explaining what's happening. If you think, well, they ought, I'm not arguing with that. That's not arguing with anybody on the national anthem. You know me, I play it every game, play it everywhere. Play it when they're on the court. Walker just made a good point. I mean, he talked to players on the team. No, we always went in, and then we did our stuff, and then we came out, and the national anthem had already played. What about people that are not sitting in the stands when the national anthem starts? And they're out there getting cold drinks and all that, or using the bathroom. Should we be mad at them too? How dare you go take a leak? How dare you go to the bathroom while the national anthem playing? I had to go. I ain't got nothing to do with it. You want me to pee in my pants? Absolutely. Wee on yourself. Come on, man. I was just trying to explain the process. Somebody's got to go to the bathroom that bad, and the national anthem is playing. What do? You know, most people that I've been around national anthem, you're getting popcorn or cold drink, whatever you're getting, you stopped right where you were. And you let the national anthem play, you put your hand on your heart, you just stop, be quiet. Shh. And then when it was over, you just resume what you were doing. So somebody can think it's wrong, and I get it. I was just explaining why they do what they do, because I played on teams, and we were always in the locker room before the game with about 5 or 6 minutes left. You come running back out, and, just come running back out, and that's the way it is. Somebody wrote, man, I'm not mad at you, and I truly understand that you're saying we should not stand for you're not saying we shouldn't stand for the national. No, not. By the way, I've got several emails, but just one of them went after me. Somebody said they didn't focus, they don't watch college sports, all this stuff going on. I get it. He just kind of then walked away from a lot of the sports, and I have too at some point. I'm still not really back. I don't watch the NBA, and I don't watch a lot of pro football. I don't keep up with it anymore. I don't have to. My son keeps up with it for me. But, I get it. But I just don't think – I think we're talking about two different things, though. Somebody says, I believe you are wrong. Before all this garbage got started, LSU and every other team came out to the national anthem. Go back and look at videos, and you see that. Maybe so. I'm not saying I'm right or wrong. What I'm saying is what the process is with some teams and a lot of teams. So, I mean, it's fine to believe that LSU walked out of the national anthem. That's not what they did in this game. But like I said, everybody, this is a good thing about America. You have a right to believe whatever you want to believe. Somebody said, you're a spinmeister. You criticize politicians, BS coaches, know when it's played in the story. Question is, should a team be present when it's played? Yeah. Play it right before the game. They're all on the court then. You can't play it with 12 minutes to go in warm-up and 8 minutes to go in warm-up. Play it when everybody's on the bench. Makes it easy. Done deal. Over. Then you can see who wants to not be there at the national anthem. I'm just telling you what's going on. You take my word for it or not. Anyway, we'll take a break. Be right back. Line One is a business telecom provider. Line One specializes in cloud-based communication with superior customer service. If you're frustrated with phone bills you can't understand, endless hold time to customer support, and phone system that is not meeting your needs, then you need to go to Line.1 and schedule a free consultation to advance your business phone system. Line One, technology with a human touch. Go to Line.1 and tell them Moon sent you. Again, that is Line.1.
Head over to Shop
News Talk 96.5 KPEL, Brobridge, Lafayette, a Town Square media station broadcasting from the Matthew James Financial Studio.
Tragic and unintentional. I'm Chris Foster, Fox News. That's how Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is describing an airstrike in Gaza that killed 7 workers with the food aid charity World Central Kitchen. Secretary of State Antony Blinken.
These people are heroes. They run into the fire, not away from it. They show the best of what humanity has to offer.
The charity's operations in Gaza are suspended and ships with aid still unloaded are turned back to Cyprus. House Speaker Mike Johnson makes a new pitch for Ukraine aid for its war against Russia.
Speaker Johnson expects Congress to move on a funding package that would include aid to Ukraine when lawmakers return from recess next week. Johnson has floated paying for the aid with a loan to the Ukrainians, attaching a provision that would roll back President Biden's freeze on liquefied natural gas exports or using frozen Russian assets.
If we could use the seized assets of Russian oligarchs to allow the Ukrainians to fight them, that's just pure poetry.
Some Democrats and Republicans would like to see Johnson vote on a $95 billion foreign aid bill already passed by the Senate. On Capitol Hill, Ryan Schmelz, Fox News.
The companies that own the cargo ship that took down the Key Bridge in Baltimore are looking to limit their legal liability.
The companies filed under an 1851 maritime law that allows them to seek to limit their liability to the value of the ship's remains. They want to cap their liability at roughly $43 million. Credit rating agency Morningstar DBRS estimates the total insured losses for the Baltimore disaster could be $2 to $4 billion. 4 of the 8 people who were working on the bridge when it collapsed remain missing and are presumed dead.
Fox's Tanya J. Power. It's a down day on Wall Street. The Dow, S&P, and NASDAQ are all down about 1.5%. America's listening to Fox News.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for less. And for a limited time, new customers receive their second month free when they sign up and use promo code MONTHFREE by May 31st. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
When a service member or first responder dies or is catastrophically injured in the line of duty, okay, who's there to help them or their families left behind? Who's helping our homeless vets and our nation to never forget 9/11? Well, that's the Tunnel to Towers Foundation, and right now they can only continue this great work with your generosity. We hope you'll join all of us here at Team Hannity. Go to their website, commit to $11 a month. It's the letter T, the number 2, the letter T.org, the letter T, the number 2, the letter T.org for the Tunnel to
Court-appointed special advocates, or CASA, are specially trained volunteers that help secure safe homes for abused and neglected children. Don't let these innocent victims slip through the cracks of our complicated legal system. Get involved today. Call CASA at 268-5111. This nonprofit organization moment brought to you by News Talk 96.5 KPEL.
It's time to win cash. Get your KPEL News apps ready because here's your chance to win up to $30,000. Just enter the following code into your KPEL News app where it says win cash, and make sure you listen for more codes throughout the day because the more codes you enter, the better your chances. Here is your next code.
Get your app ready, hit that Win Cash button, and type in the code 725. Your 10 a.m. code is 725.
The views expressed in the following show are those of the hosts or hosts only. They do not represent News Talk 96.5 KPEL or Town Square Media.
Oh, you're laughing talk show host is ready to rock and roll. I gotta tell you, man. Woo! I had this much fun since, yesterday. 844-766-6607, Matthew James Tax Wealth Management Hotline. You'd like to be part of the program. And then I finally got somebody that got it right. If you go back to my opening comment, my buddy Paul, he says, really the only question I asked Kim Mulkey is, was it intentional or was it to make a political statement? If the answer is no, that's the end of the story. I said at the beginning, this has no storyline. When they asked her, she said, no, this is our natural routine. Then no, she didn't do it intentionally. That's what I said. If she didn't do it intentionally, this is a non-story. I think it's a non-story. Now, if you want to get into should they? Yes, they should, and they ought to do it right before the game. Walker made a point in the pros, national anthem. They go to the bench, they call a starting lineup, they play ball. Everybody's on the court. That's all you got to do. Makes it real easy. But I just know some people I'm just telling you. Unbelievable. And some people hate LSU. Some people just hate LSU. I mean, what you want them to do? All right. 844-766-6607. Well, Donald Trump's back in the name, and he's got Psycho Bill Cassidy in his eyesight. Donald Trump calls Senator Psycho Bill Cassidy disloyal and a total flake. You think Cassidy said in a beautiful position, if Trump can be president again, and then Cassidy's got to run in 2 years at a closed primary with Trump being the president, turn out the lights, the party's over, and Psycho knows it. Donald Trump called Louisiana U.S. Senator Bill Cassidy disloyal, a total flake, and a scathing message the former president posted on social media. One of the worst senators in the United States Senate is without question Bill Cassidy. Total flake. Republicans, though he may be. Trump a preemptive Republican presidential nominee. By the way, is a 2-page post on his Truth Social. And I don't know what made him go off on Cassidy again. I don't. Does anybody know what did Cassidy say something or do something besides the ignorant stuff he always says it does? In his Monday Evening Post, he complained accurately that in Cassidy's 2020 reelection, he sought to associate himself with Trump. He did. I played commercials over and over again with Cassidy bragging about Trump. And everybody, I'm not going through the whole story again, folks. I'm not going to bore you with the details. And he was censored by the Republican Party. He also backed the investigation January 6th riot, and most congressional Republicans opposed. But Psycho was right there to keep it going up against Trump. And he's best friends with the most liberal Democrats in the Senate and the Mitt Romneys of the world and the Lisa Murkowskis. That's his buddies. Cassidy is one of the few congressional Republicans who have not endorsed Trump by name in the 2024 race. He said he will vote for whoever the Republican Party nominee for the top office. But that's not necessarily true because he also said he's looking at a third party. It's not clear that if something else set Trump off Monday night, but Cassidy, Psycho Bill, was clearly on his mind. And folks, I don't know if what happened. I have no idea. Did anybody see something that Psycho Bill said or did? And I'm sure it was on CNN and MSNBC because that's his buddies. Trump says when the Democrat impeachment hoax started, this lame-brained senator actually voted against me. He thought it was so cool until he got home. He was literally pelted with everything that could be used for such an inglorious happening, especially words with lots of foul language thrown in. He said he wouldn't give Cassidy his endorsement. He dissuaded Cassidy from running for governor. I wouldn't give him my endorsement. I like Jeff Landry much more. Trump concluded Bill Cassidy is now shunned in his own state as a disloyal lightweight and a beautiful thing to watch. By the way, he is, folks. He He doesn't make any Republican events. When they had a Republican Party convention in Lafayette last year, he was the only Republican that didn't get invited. He was censored. And he's going to be beat. He didn't like close primaries because it kills him. I just think Psycho ought to run as a Democrat. It wouldn't be a big deal. That's who his buddies are. Anyway, there was 2 or 3 stories out there. I was just trying to find out, did Cassidy do something else? Last year, Cassidy declared Trump cannot win the 2024 White House election, asserting the President Biden and Republican Florida Ron DeSantis were the only viable options. So Cassidy likes Biden. DeSantis is out. Cassidy, according to this, Cassidy likes Biden better than he likes Trump. That sounds like a really, really conservative Republican, huh? I'm reading what the man said. This is what the article said. You know, best thing going for Donald Trump is running for president. He's running against Joe Biden. Well, let me ask you a question, Psycho Bill. Did he run against Nikki Haley? Did he run against Ron DeSantis? Did he run against Chris Christie? Didn't he run against a bunch of Republicans? They all dropped out. I'm just saying, he did. And then he says, and frankly, that's why people are considering the third party. I'd love to see Psycho Bill run on a presidential ticket on a third party. He's one of 15 GOP senators who have yet to endorse President Trump for president in 2024. I'm going to make a prediction. If there's a chance that Donald Trump will be president of the United States, Psycho Bill's up in 2 years for re-election. No matter what happens in the presidential race, Trump's going to get 58 to 60% in this state. It's happening. Cassidy has to turn around and run in 2026 in a state that went 60% for Donald Trump. A man who's beaten up on Trump, voted against the impeached Trump, said some nasty things about Trump, says them all the time on CNN and MSNBC, or ABC, all these deplorable media. He don't go on Fox because I don't think they invite him. He won't come on here. He hadn't been on here in 7 years. Well, let me back up. That ain't true. He came on here 7 years. He hadn't been on here in the last 4 years, and he's been invited. He can come in. I just want him to come at the microphone so we can look each other in the eye. He's welcome. He goes on every program around me all over the state. Now, a guy as smart as him, he's a United States congressman, he's a state rep, a congressman, he's a United States senator, he's a Ford doctor. I mean, this guy's a smart guy. Someone like me, he's going to be able to just eat my lunch. I know he is. But I'm still going to invite him on this program to come eat my lunch. I want to see him. I got so much to talk to Senator Bill Cassidy about, I can't see straight. And yet he won't come. By the way, when he came on him 7 years, the year he ran, then the 6 years he was senator, and he ran again, 7 years. As soon as he started going against Trump, he quit coming on this program. I don't understand. He hadn't been on the program in over 3 years. I'm right here in Lafayette. I will come to Baton Rouge and do the program with my friends at Guarantee Broadcast and let Bill come in, and I'll look him right in the eye, and I'll tell him it's Psycho Bill. I'm going to tell him that. I'm not going to not man up in front of him. And let's talk, because we got a lot of things to talk to him about. I mean, a lot of things. And I just think Cassidy has to answer. But see, Cassidy's going to go against 60% of the voters in Louisiana. How does he win a United States Senate seat? He didn't, and it's a closed primary in 2026. And I know of a couple names, big names that are going to run against him. And the Republican Party is not going to rally back behind Psycho Bill. He won't shut up. So what does Cassidy do now? This he wants to run as a Democrat. Then he can run saying, I'm with Joe Biden and Barack Obama. So I'm just telling y'all, I don't know what, man, Trump got hot about him again. I have no idea if Psycho Bill was on one of these crazy left-wing radio shows or TV shows talking smack again. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out why he went off on Cassidy out of the blue, because I hadn't seen anything else that Cassidy's done. But it's going to be interesting because in 2026, let's see what Bill does. Let's see if Cassidy even runs, because he's going to be going against 60% of the people like Trump, whether Trump wins or not. I already told y'all what I think. I just don't think the Democrats, under no circumstances, no matter what they have to do, no matter what the world leaders have to do, they will do it to Donald Trump, made up or not, including taking him out and wiping him off the earth, which is a shame. Anyway. All right, folks, we got to take a break. 844-766-6607. Matthew James Tax Wealth Management Hotline. You're listening to the Moon Griffon Show. Line One is a business telecom provider. Line One specializes in cloud-based communication with superior customer service. If you're frustrated with phone bills you can't understand, endless hold time to customer support, and phone system that is not meeting your needs, then you need to go to Line.1 and schedule a free consultation to advance your business phone system. Line One, technology with a human touch. Go to Line.1 and tell them Moon sent you. Again, that is Line.1. Oh, Shucks, you've been hearing me brag about Shucks. Been going there for many, many years. Shucks does a great job. If you like seafood, you got to go to Shucks in Abbeville. I'm telling you right now, there's shrimp, there's oysters, there's fish, all fresh every day right off the boat. So if you want something fresh and you want fresh seafood, you got to go to Shucks. Don't forget, if you're having a party, call Shucks. Let them cater the event for you, or you can go pick it up. Shucks, they're waiting on you. If you want a great time and you want great food, you got to go to Shucks in Abbeville. Shucks, oh, they're good. Folks, I want to tell you about one of my new advertisers, Adapt Concepts AC Service Repairs. Oh, serving all of Acadiana, surrounding areas, and the Gulf of Mexico for over 6 years. Full-service AC and heating company, repairs, installation, and preventive maintenance, which is very, very important. Installation service, professional quality services, focus on creating value for you. Terms of certified technician, 24/7 customer service, and free consultation. I'm talking Adapt Concepts, AC service repairs. You want the professionals, you want the best, this is them. Purchase a qualified, high-efficient system for maintenance, plus get a free 12-year parts and labor warranty. Wow, don't you want to know about that? Call them at 337-408-8202. That's 337-408-8202. Or go to the website, adapt-ac.com. That's adapt-ac.com. When you think about Hey, y'all, welcome back. Moon Griffon Show. Great to have you with us. 844-766-6607. Matthew James Tax Wealth Management Hotline, if you'd like to be part of the program. Your opportunity to be a voice. Let's go, Miss EJ and Alexander. How you doing, EJ?
Hey, Moon. How's it going today, man?
I'm doing fine. You doing okay?
Yeah, good. Look, Moon, my theory is, and I think it's a pretty solid theory, that you know how liberal ESPN is.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't have any doubts whatsoever that ESPN organized this playing of the national anthem just to coincide with LSU ladies team being off the field.
No, I'm not going to take up for ESPN. I think they got an agenda. Here's the agenda, and this is what we got. I do think they're liberal as hell, don't get me wrong, but I don't think so. I'm telling y'all, and I'm being honest with you, Mr. EJ, that it's real simple, okay? These players like Mulkey and them, I played it, I done it. Walker just taught the kids. They got an agenda, and the agenda just sticks to that. I have no problem with moving the national anthem right before the game takes off. That'd be awesome. Then everybody's there. I have no problem with it. I wish they would. But I just think they made a bigger deal about this because they've been doing this the whole year and nobody said a word. We get to the end of the year and then somebody says something.
Yeah, well.
That's all. I mean, I know I'm. There's no argument about ESPN. I mean, me and you are 100% in agreement.
Yeah. Well, I just think that, every other sport, they wait until, like you say, right before the game and play the national anthem so everyone's there in order to stand up, put out hands over their heart or whatever they wish to do. But playing it 12 minutes before, that doesn't, I don't know, it just doesn't seem right to me.
Yeah. But once again, as my buddy just texted me, he said, there's only one question. Was it a protest? Or they had nothing to do with that. And if it had nothing to do with that, then this is wasted conversation.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Not me and you. I'm just saying in general. But I saw enough articles. I said, wow. I said, what do you normally do? And I just thought about when we played. When I played, it was warm up, run back in, take your warm-up pants off. Coach do a little pep talk, what we need to do. Go back out, finish warming up. Bam, horn goes off, go to the sideline. 5 people that start get their names called out. Opposite team gets called out, play ball. That's how it's always been. Now, once again, somebody else wrote, he said, Moon, they give these coaches an agenda. That's fine. They could make somebody says a men's basketball, plain and simple. If you reach out to the SIDs, they look at the itinerary, it breaks down all pregame activities, including the national anthem. And, a coach can say, a coach could say, we're going to be out there for that. I get what people are saying. I'm just telling you, I was just trying to explain the process.
Yeah, I didn't watch the whole game, but did the Iowa team, were they off the field at the same time?
No, they were there. They were on the court.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that tells me, though, and I might be wrong on this, that coach might have said, we're going to be out there in national anthem. Maybe she did. But it also tells me they have a different routine.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, Moon, great talking to you again, my friend. Keep up the good work. I love you.
Always a pleasure, my friend. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's I get it. I get what people are saying. I really do. And I'm telling you what, easy solution. Bam, horn goes off to play the game. Everybody goes to the bench. Everybody, please stand for the national anthem. And if you're peeing in the bathroom, please quit. If you have to be sitting on the commode, please quit doing what you're doing. We're getting ready to play the national anthem. Put the popcorn down, fool. They play the national anthem. They sit down, starting guard. Boom, call a lineup, play ball. That makes it easy. We have no questions about any of it. But if Kim Mulkey, I just listened, and what the guy Paul him when he texted me, I just listened to what Kim Mulkey said when they asked him. Said, we always go in with 12 minutes left left in the first, before we start the game, because that's what we do, a little bit more teaching and showing. Here's what we do. Let's go over everything. And we always do that. And they came back out with 4 or 5 minutes left. She said they do it every game. I think people are confusing somebody that's protesting the national anthem, which I'm against. It's not a matter of what I'm against or not. I just try to tell y'all what I think went on, because I've been in that position before. I did go to a tournament one time, but I'm not in the process of I've been there. Most people hadn't been there. Okay? It is what it is. And everybody's going to have a different opinion. But if we talk, the thing about it, I'm talking about a girls' basketball team or basketball program. Everybody's talking about the national anthem. We're talking about 2 different things. I think the national anthem is important. I'd love to see them all out there. I do. And maybe coaches ought to say, well, we ought to be there. But in this process of trying to criticize and down somebody for what they did, I don't understand that part of it. That's just me. Some of you people go, I don't understand what you're talking about. That's fine. That's part of life. Take a break. Be right back.
Louisiana is unique. The food, the festivals, even the bugs. It's termite season. Did you know termites are responsible for over $1 billion worth of damage in Louisiana alone? For over 60 years, J&J Exterminating has been shielding homes and businesses. 100% guaranteed against termites, pests, and mosquitoes. Louisiana-owned, customer-focused. J&J Exterminating.
Call him today, make pests go away. J&J Exterminating.
Get the shield.
Yeah. Spring is here, and if you love seafood like I do, you need Ragin' Cajun, the original Cajun seasoning, and Ragin' Cajun's delicious seafood dinners like etouffee, Creole sauce, shrimp and grits, seafood bisque, gumbo and roux. All Ragin' Cajun products are made right here in Acadiana. Folks, trust me, they are good. Ask for the Ragin' Cajun and all your favorite grocery stores today. Ragin' Cajun, the original Cajun seasoning. Ask them for the Ragin' Cajun. Oh, man, I love me some Superior Grill. Superior Grill, the best Mexican food in the state of Louisiana, bar none, baby. They are the best, and you're going to love them, too. They got great drinks and food, and the atmosphere is second to none. They know what they're doing. They know how to serve. Hey, folks, you do know they cater. They do cater. Superior Grill, located in New Orleans, Shreveport, and Baton Rouge, Lafayette right around the corner. You're going to love Superior Grill. You're going to love the atmosphere. You're going to love the taste. They can handle anything you got. Folks, they got happy hours. They really serve the people. And you're going to love Superior Grill. I love it. You're going to love it. I cannot wait to go to Superior Grill. I've been going to Superior Grill now for 29 years. Let me tell you, I know all about Superior Grill. And I want good Mexican food. I'm going to Superior Grill. I want to see you there. We're going to have a blast.
This hour brought to you by Matthew James Tax and Wealth Management. Online at MatthewJames.com.
Hello, welcome back. Microphone Show. Great to have you with us. 844-766-6607. I'm kind of laughing. Somebody wrote, I think the issue people are having is the media. First headline I saw this morning, woke LSU leaves court during the national anthem while Iowa stands in solidarity. You know what's sad? I ain't never said that LSU shouldn't have been there. Not one time. I was just saying, all I did was explain the process when I played, comparing it to when they played now. Nobody's arguing what they should be doing. I'm not. But the people have turned that. It'd be like me talking about the tires on my truck, and somebody's arguing with me about how many shingles it takes to put on a roof of a house. If you want to just talk about the national anthem and playing, and they should be there, absolutely, and put it where I told you, just eliminate everything. But that's not what people have turned this into. Going after me like I'm trying to tell people, oh no, they shouldn't have to do that. It's not what we're doing. That's not even what we're talking about. I get it. People read stuff, and like the lady said, the first headline she read is the first headline she read was that this woke group, and that's kind of what I read too. That's why I talked about it. I thought, hold up just a second. There's a little bit more to this. Who knows? I might be wrong again. Let's go to Dave in Shreveport, Louisiana. Mr. Dave, how you doing? Dave, you're on the air. Hey, Dave. Cut Dave off. Dave's talk. Dave kind of have a conversation with me and with somebody else. All right, let's go to the top one. Let's go to Jesus in Bossier City. Jesus, how you doing?
Hey, we're doing good, Moon. Just wanted to let you know we had a big birthday party with C.L. Bryant yesterday, and it was a great time. We talked about old times, being up in Washington, D.C., and having rallies with you and him. But on this national anthem, I make a suggestion to reach out to the coaches, and I believe the coaches should be out front and say, we are being out there and standing up for the national anthem to all the colleges, whether it's college.
But I tell you what you do if you change the time you did the national anthem to right before the game started and everybody's on the court. I think you would eliminate the problem. And if somebody is not on the court, then we'll say they protesting the national anthem, which is wrong. So that's when we know. But on this particular case, I was just making the point that, and I'm going to stick to my point because I'm right, that when I'm right, I'm going to stick to my point that I know college coaches. I know college coaches. I know what we did. I know what they're doing. I did it myself back when we played. They go in. They always go in. Then they come back out. And if any of them stand, and when they asked Kim Mulkey about it, she basically said, no, we did the same thing we do every game. And I'm telling you, coaches are, I'm not going to say weird, they're different. They like steady stuff. So, look, if everybody want to pop the Tigers and pop Kim Mulkey and all that, go for it. That's your business. You got a right to do that.
Yes, sir. And also C.L. Bryan, man, he gave a great speech yesterday, and I wish I would have recorded it and somehow send it to you. I mean, you know how CL does. He's a tremendous patriot and a tremendous speaker, and I just wanted to let you know that we had a great time yesterday.
Yeah, good. I'm glad y'all had a good time. Thank you, Jesus. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. All righty. Bye.
All right. Yeah, well, by the way, folks, if I go to you in a call, it might help you if you're listening on that radio, because I don't take many calls. You're listening when I say let's go. You can't be having a conversation with somebody else. It's kind of hard you talking to somebody else and trying to talk to me on the air. I mean, I think it's difficult. It's just me, maybe, what I know. I mean, what do I know about it? It's just, and that was it. And I think Paul said it best because I said it earlier. Okay, move the national anthem, and then we'll see who wants to be there and who doesn't want to be there. By the way, I wanted to let you know, I talked to y'all yesterday a little bit about they got these cameras coming to the Basin Bridge on I-10 right here in Lafayette, Louisiana. And I told y'all that I think this is going to be a sham for what's over when we find out who gets the government contracts on these cameras on this interstate. We're going to find out a lot about why this was really done, and I think it was done for money. Somebody's going to make a lot of money in the camera business, and I'm waiting. I got it in. They got a bill that I didn't get to mention to a whole lot. Blake Miguez has a bill, and I remember this. I had to go back and find it. A good friend of mine, Tim, reminded me this yesterday, but it was too late. So I went back and looked, and it's Miguez's bill. Miguez's bill wants to get rid of the cameras. So then I did a little investigation. I thought, ooh, somebody want to get rid of the cameras. I wonder who's going to be against that. Now, who pushed this bill in the first place? Well, it was none other than that brilliant senator, president of the Senate, Blank Page Cortez pushed it. And I told y'all he was tied to an agency here, and the agency had his buddy, he took his place for, and they represent a camera company. It's not Red Light, it's another one. It's the biggest one in the country. And they represent that. And I said, then I bet you his buddy in the agency is going to end up making a lot of money on this. So I look up and I do a little calling around yesterday, and there is somebody pushing the beat against Blake Miguez's bill on this. And guess who it is? Blank Page Cortez. The guy that got the bill passed is the guy lobbying through people to kill the bill. On a bill that shouldn't have been passed. They passed it because he was the Senate president, and it's amazing. When Cortez wanted a bill to pass, it passed. When he didn't want a bill to pass, it got killed. It was done. It got destroyed. I mean, it got destroyed. And when Cortez tied up with his buddy Joe Robideau, who all of a sudden was this genius lobbyist for the gambling industry, Cortez expanded gambling more in the state than it ever has been expanded when it started. So now I'm telling y'all, I don't miss these people by much. So now Blank Page is out there trying to kill a bill. I just want to know, why is he so, I'm telling you why he's did something like this. Somebody he knows. Somebody he's tied to. And he can prove me wrong. I'm ready to listen. Somebody he knows, somebody's tied to. Blank Page Cortez, the Senate president. That dude knows somebody going to make a lot of money. And he's fighting for them to make that money. He is fighting for them to make that money. That is a fact. Why would he be protesting? He's not even in the Senate anymore. And I always said I thought he would he's going to go be a lobbyist. I wonder if he's going to go be a lobbyist for the same company who gets the contract. That I don't know. But let me promise y'all one thing. I am watching this bill. I'm watching to see who goes against the bill. I want to see who got the contract on the red light camera. It ain't red light camera. The cameras on the basin. Because somebody going to make a hell of a lot of money. And normally it's somebody they know. People passed that bill and not even thinking about it. Because Blank Page wanted it passed. And he had a bunch of bunnies in the house, his buddy Shake Snyder, and those guys, Stuart Little, very little Bishop. They had a lot of people on that side of the committee that wanted to help a brother out. So let's just see who gets the contract. Eventually, we're going to get the name. We're going to know what the contract is worth. We're going to know what private sector is making a killing. We're going to know what lobbyists pushed it. And when I find out, and I will find out, I will share with my audience and gladly share with you. Anyway, let's take a break. Your calls are welcome, 844-766-6607. Also, you can email me, moon@moongraphon.com. It's the Matthew James Tax and Wealth Management Hotline. Spring is here. If you love seafood like I do, you need Ragin' Cajun, the original Cajun seasoning, and Ragin' Cajun's delicious seafood dinners like etouffee, Creole sauce, shrimp and grits, seafood bisque, gumbo and roux. All Ragin' Cajun products are made right here in Acadiana. Folks, trust me, they are good. Ask for the Ragin' Cajun and all your favorite grocery stores today. Ragin' Cajun, the original Cajun seasoning. Ask them for the Ragin' Cajun.
As Louisiana's only fiberglass manufacturer and fabricator, C-Safe Fiberglass Grading and Structural Systems has provided corrosion-resistant products to the Gulf Coast for over 45 years. Our fiberglass grading, cable trays, and structural shapes are ideal to replace corroded, rotting building products and can be custom fabricated by the best fiberglass craftsmen in the world, right here in Lafayette. Contact C-Safe or visit our website at csafe.com. That's SEA like the ocean, SAFE.com.
Louisiana is unique. The food, the festivals, even the bugs. It's termite season. Did you know termites are responsible for over $1 billion worth of damage in Louisiana alone? For over 60 years, J&J Exterminating has been shielding homes and businesses. 100% guaranteed against termites, pests, and mosquitoes. Louisiana-owned, customer-focused. J&J Exterminating.
Call him today, make pests go away. J&J Exterminating.
Get the shield.
Yeah.
Everywhere you turn.
Hi, y'all. Welcome back. Moon Griffon Show. Last segment of this hour, 844-766-6607 is the number if you'd like to be part of the program. Your opportunity, once again, to be a voice. The Matthew James Tax Wealth Management Hotline. So anyway, I will do my darndest to keep up with the red light camera deal. I just think it was hanky-panky with that. And usually my hunches aren't wrong. And if it's wrong, I'm going to come back and tell you I was wrong. This is no big deal. But I know a lot of people don't. There's ways to do that with local sheriff's departments. There's ways to let them get paid for it, and then not have cameras, and then put the speed limit the same for everybody. You keep policemen and sheriff deputies on that thing. Well, how are you going to pay them with the fines? But it can't be a moneymaker. It's got to be a safety issue because it's amazing. Anytime y'all ever notice red light cameras and things dealing with safety, they always sell stuff as safety. And then you look up later and it was about the money, not about safety. I'm not saying everything. I'm just saying sometimes that comes up. This is one of them that I think is. This is one of those ones that I think it's about the money. Although I know there's law enforcement, you talk to state troopers, man, that basin, I've been there, man. I've seen accidents. I sure don't want to be involved in one. Every accident that's on the basin or on the interstate don't necessarily mean it's speeding. It's probably more accidents for distraction drivers than it is speeding. Speeding don't help. But I think it's more for distraction drivers, looking at your radio, your phone. Excuse me, looking at your phone, curling your hair, whatever, putting makeup on, trying to get something to eat. I mean, it's the distraction stuff. That's what worries me when I get distracted. The speeding part, I know people speed. Look, when I get on that basin, I told you I put mine on 62 and get in the right lane. Well, Moody says 60. I'm going 62. Get in the right lane. And I get past like I'm doing 10. I get it. But you put them deputies up and down that interstate, and they're there from now on, and you write a ticket, let that money go to that, well, Moon, it's going to be a speed trap. No, it's not going to be a speed trap. It's going to be a speed. You get to do 66, 67 above that, you ought to get a ticket. Includes me and you. This is a moneymaker, and I believe it's a moneymaker, and I believe that's why Blank Page did it, and that's why Blank Page pushed more gambling down our throat than anything. And it had made our state better, and we don't have any more money because of it. But we've expanded gambling more than anything I've ever seen in the state of Louisiana. That's amazing, too. I know they got fantasy football and all that they passed, and I remember everybody being all happy about that. But you ever notice when you look at sports now, if you watch ESPN or any sports stations, they always got shows, gambling shows, the promotion of gambling with young people. It's amazing to watch. Somebody's going to get in trouble, and they've been some got in trouble in college and the pros. We might have another incident. By the way, that Otani, that incident is far from over. I wonder if he gambled. I wonder if he gambled on baseball. What I'm saying is the gambling's out there. I get it. It's out there, but it's pushed on the sport. I picked up a devil's advocate the other day. And, of course, John George has made his fortune dealing with the gambling industry and alcohol and things of that nature. That's fine. But I looked at it, and you look at the subtitles. So you go down, I press on news or sports or opinion pieces. And there's a section now, sports betting. So everything is now sports betting. Now, if you want to do it, I don't care. But don't get upset when we find out a young person or somebody gets in trouble betting because it's all around them now. It's shoved down their face. This is what you do. I always thought fantasy football was a great way to teach people how to gamble. I know some people are playing just to play. They have fun. It's fun. I played it one time. I did. I'm not innocent of it. I played it one of the first times that thing came out. Me and my son played. Nobody put the money up. When we got to the end, we got beat in the finals, and we never got paid. They forgot to collect the money at the front of it. But I couldn't stand it because what I did is I started watching players instead of teams. Then all this stuff came on with the pro football players and the Black Lives Matter, and I just kind of drifted from that pretty much. Not all together, but close. But the gambling is so prevalent now with these young people, and it's just like this is just what we do. I just don't see the benefit of it at all. But I never have. People don't understand. When it comes to gambling, I was against gambling. I didn't care if people gambled. That's your business. I don't care if you want to gamble. But when we had the Constitution that said we should suppress gambling, and the legislature, in their infinite wisdom, changed it to gaming, not gambling, And when it got to the Supreme Court, they said, well, who are we to tell the legislature? They say gaming and gambling aren't the same thing. So if it ain't the same thing, boom, they approved it. Even though our Constitution said you can't do this. Okay? Although our Constitution says you can't gamble. And then you got gaming agencies and you got, you ever notice even in the sports betting now they say if you have a gambling problem, if you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-SOTA. Oh, no, we ain't got gambling. Somebody asked Moon, said I'm being facetious. I wonder if Kim Mulkey would have done if she knew they were going to play the Black National Anthem playing. I don't know. Now we're grabbing stuff in the wind right there. We're grabbing stuff in the wind now. But that's just me. I just think it's gotten so big. I mean, Blank Page Cortez helped pass a lot of the gambling that's here. Some people are probably proud of him. He expanded gambling. Used to the churches and the conservatives would get mad and try to stop it. And I'm not saying some of them didn't, Gene Mills in that group, but it wasn't like it was the onslaught we had when we tried to really stop it. It's just not the same thing. But it's expanded. I'm trying for somebody to show me where we've expanded gambling in the state and really, really expanded gambling in the state. How has it benefited? Since gambling came along, have taxes been raised at the state or local level at all in your area? And it's been around for 30 years. Gambling started coming on the scene about the time I started this radio program. Has taxes gone up in, like, I know Baton Rouge is big, New Orleans is big, Caddo Parish is big, and there's other areas, but those are big, big parts of the state. And I wonder if y'all had to pay any extra taxes there. Has it delivered what it was going to deliver for? Has it delivered if they said it was going to be education? Have they delivered roads? What's improved in New Orleans since they got to gambling? What's improved in Caddo since they went gambling? What's improved in Baton Rouge since they went gambling? I'm just kind of curious. I don't know. It's not something I'm kind of watching and following. I was just kind of curious after 30-plus years, has everything improved? Are you paying less taxes now than you were 30 years ago? Because gambling came in. That's how it was sold. Look at this revenue we're going to get. Did it better the lives of the people in your community? Do you have in-migration because you got gambling? Those are questions nobody ever asked. The media's not going to ask. But I will. I ask the question because I don't think it's improved anybody's lives. I don't. Somebody may email me, moon@moongriffon.com, and tell me how it's improved your life. Maybe I'm wrong. With all this gambling we got in this state, has it stopped the out-migration of our best and brightest leaving because they got better jobs because of gambling? You know, if anybody moving into the state saying, hey, I'm going to move to Louisiana because I can get a gambling job. Has it fixed the roads where you are, the bridges where you are? Has it made education better? I mean, we're told all this stuff when it was coming. Oh, we could have a few more dollars for this and a few more dollars for that. Really? I'm just kind of curious, has it gotten, because if you can call me or email me and show me where it has, man, that's a good thing. But I don't think you can. And I think I'm right on it. I don't think it's improved the lives of the people in Louisiana. Not one iota. But you can go do it. You can do it anywhere in the state, just about. You can go enjoy yourself. I mean, I'm not telling you you can or can't. I just kind of wonder all the promises that were sold on gambling, did any of that stuff come true? Are we better off? Are we prospering more? Are we creating all these great jobs because of gambling? And you areas that are thick with gambling, you can answer it better than I can. I mean, you can. If Texas ever approves gambling, it's not going to affect what's happening here when it comes to gambling. A lot of people coming from Texas. It's not if, it's when Texas will probably have gambling. I don't know, just something to think about when they start raising taxes and things of that nature. What about the gambling revenue we're supposed to have? How this was going to make parishes and cities and communities whole. I don't think we've seen any of that in a positive way. Got to take a break. More to come. American for Commitment. Phil Kerpen will join me for the next 30 minutes. We'll take a break. Be right back.
For the absolute best in local Cajun food, check out Prejean's in their 2 locations in Carencro and Broussard today.
News Talk 96.5 KPEL, Brobridge, Lafayette, a Town Square media station broadcasting from the Matthew James Financial Studio.
A diplomatic rebuke for Israel. Lisa Brady, Fox News. The UK Foreign Ministry just summoning Israel's ambassador to the UK while condemning as appalling the killing of 7 aid workers in Gaza, including 3 British nationals, when an Israeli airstrike hit a World Central Kitchen aid convoy. Israel's military is investigating, and Prime Minister Netanyahu calls the incident unintended and tragic.
The victims of yesterday's strike join a record number of humanitarian workers who've been killed in this particular conflict.
Secretary of State Antony Blinken, during meetings in France, also defending U.S. security assistance for Israel, saying it's about a range of existing threats to Israel, not just Hamas and the October 7th attack. President Biden and China's President Xi just speaking for the first time since their November summit in California. Today's call focusing on security issues, artificial intelligence, and Taiwan, which China's leader calls a red line that can't be crossed in U.S.-China relations. President Biden reaffirming a long-standing one China policy, while also reiterating U.S. opposition to any coercive means to bring Taiwan under Beijing's control. He also raised concerns about China's operations in the South China Sea and pressed China to do more to meet its commitments to help stem the flow of fentanyl. The former president hits the road.
Former President Trump is likely to spend a lot of time today talking about 2 major issues: illegal immigration and crime, 2 issues which could swing the election in battleground states, also known as the Blue Wall, states Democrats are counting on to win in November's election. Trump's first event today is going to be in Grand Rapids, Michigan. It's there he's expected to address the recent murder of Ruby Garcia, a woman found dead near a highway, allegedly at the hands of an illegal immigrant from Mexico.
Fox's Mark Meredith. Democrats launching a new billboard campaign in Michigan, blaming the former president for chaos at the border. Later today, he holds a rally in Green Bay, Wisconsin, a battleground state President Biden plans to visit next week. America's listening to Fox News.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for less. And for a limited time, new customers receive their 2nd month free when they sign up and use promo code MONTHFREE by May 31st. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
After 9/11, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation promised to make sure that we never forget. And since then, they have been supporting American heroes and their families. Heroes like U.S. Army Specialist Michael Hook. He was killed in Iraq, and Hook left behind a pregnant fiancée who gave birth to a son that he would never meet. Tunnel to Towers stepped up. They paid off the mortgage on their home. Donate $11 a month. Go to their website, the letter T, the number 2, the letter T.org. The letter T, the number 2, the letter T.org for the Tunnel to Towers Foundation.
More than a year since a toxic train derailment in Ohio, the federal government finalizing new safety rules for major railroads, requiring 2-person crews on most routes.
On behalf of the Biden administration, our department is proud to issue this final rule requiring safe crew sizes for every train across America.
Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg calls it common sense for freight trains carrying miles of materials to have 2 crew members on board, though railroad operators say crew size should be part of contract talks with unions. The rollout of a revamped financial aid form hits another snag, meaning hundreds of thousands more students across the U.S. don't know the status of their aid as they make decisions about college. Some in Congress demanding answers.
The free application for federal student aid, or FAFSA, has faced a number of delays. GOP Congresswoman Erin Houchin sits on the House Education and Workforce Committee and wants Education Secretary Miguel Cardona to testify before Congress.
It's getting to the point of ridiculousness, how bad it's been.
Senator Bill Cassidy, the top Republican on the Senate committee that deals with education, also wants the secretary to testify. The Department of Education says hundreds of thousands of applications sent to colleges will need to be reprocessed after a recent calculation error, but that error has now been fixed. On Capitol Hill, Ryan Schmelz, Fox News.
So plenty of jobs available in the government's latest reading ahead of Friday's employment report for March.
The number of available jobs on the last business day of February showed little change from the month before. There were nearly 8.8 million job openings, though the number is down significantly from the peak of 12 million. The number of hires in February, 5.8 million, and total separations came in at 5.6 million.
Fox's Ginny Cosola. Big sell-off on Wall Street right now. The Dow's down 489 points. At Lisa Brady, Fox News.